How I got out to Humboldt was through the relationship that we developed with Bethel Church in Reading. And I applied to BSSM. I was declined. It was the best decline for being a student that I've ever had.
I'm from Alabama, and about a year and a half ago, I applied to come out here to go to BSSD, which is the school that I just finished. I drove 4 days across the country. It was a really fun road trip.
She doesn't necessarily remember how we met, but I do. I remember the day. I remember kind of down to the minute when we met. It was BSSD orientation. It was basically almost a year from today that we're filming.
I really do not remember meeting Jed at all that day, actually. Like, he claims he met me that day. I'm still like, are you sure? Because I totally don't remember that. We were all really excited when registration day came, and of course, I love to meet people, so I was meeting everyone, and I think I met 50 people that day.
I was just meeting students, and I met this southern girl from Alabama, and my first instinct was she's cute.
I got here, and I was so excited to come to school, and I was not at all interested in dating or meeting anyone, or you could ask my roommates, all my friends. We would all talk about like who we wanted to date and how we wanted to get married, and I would just be like, yeah, I'm just really not interested in that. When I meet him, that'll be great.
I just thought, wow, she's very, very cute. She's good looking. And I didn't think anything of it because I'm a personal assistant to Marty, so I really can't date students. It's kind of against the law. Even though we don't believe in the law, we believe in the spirit.
My first memories of really getting to know him probably would be when he started coming up to the school on like Wednesdays, and he would come and talk to me, and on Sundays we would always chit chat at church. And one Wednesday he came up to me and he was like, hey, do you have a job? And I was like, no, I don't actually. And he was like, yeah, let me have your number and I'll help you find one. And a year later, he still didn't help me find a job, but he got my phone number, which is what I think he was really after.
I started, just talking to her, and there was a couple times Stephanie was like, hey, do you want to watch football? Because she's a big Alabama college football fan, and so I love the Raiders, as many of you know.
Oh, I do want to clarify one thing, that all of the football invitations were on his end. He was trying to get me to come over to watch football, just because he said it was more on my end, but it really wasn't. That following Saturday, we went to Rudy's, and that was really fun. And then the following Friday, we had our first date. I was super excited. We went to this restaurant called the Moonstone Grill.
She had steak and I had fish. It's kind of been an ongoing joke with us that I always eat like a woman and she eats like a man.
It was really nice, and we just had a really good time. I remember just that he's was really easy to talk to, which is one of my favorite things about him. And we never had trouble making conversation, and I just knew I wanted to be with someone who was that much fun and that sweet and that caring. And
it was raining outside. So we went to dinner, and then we just kind of drove around and just talked. And I remember one thing that she loved about what I did was I asked if I could hold her hand as we were driving, and she thought that was such a gentlemanly move. She's told me that to this day. Related to our kissing, one of the first things Stephanie told me, she cooked me dinner for my birthday. That was like our second date, even though it was like 2 weeks after my birthday. Okay, it was 1 week maybe. So basically she told me, we're sitting on my couch in my bedroom, door was open, because that was one of her boundaries. It had to be this wide. We're just talking, and she had told me she just didn't believe that we should get kissed, and we should kiss until we're married. And so, of course, in my mind, what I related to her is I'm like, yeah, absolutely, no problem. And I'm like, no way in my head this is going to happen. This is not going to happen. We won't last 2 days. I wanted to kiss her when I was over at Rudy's for our first official, date, or when we first started talking. And so I was like, there's no way that we're going to not kiss. And we actually made it 3 months. And I'll let Stephanie tell the story, but it was our date, our Valentine's Day date, that she said, I really feel like we can start kissing. Tell us about Valentine's Day for you. What was that like?
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. Okay, so the night before Valentine's Day, I had a dream, and in my dream, I felt like the Lord just told me that it was okay and I could trust Jed So I remember the conversation we had because we had just gone to dinner, and I was like, Jed, I really need to talk to you. And he was like, what? On Valentine's Day? You can't like wait to have this conversation with me tomorrow? And I was like, all right, I mean, I thought you'd want to hear what I have to say, but it can wait. And he was like, no, go ahead. So I told him, and he was excited, and then I spent the next like hour being really nervous because he took forever to kiss me. Let's talk about when we got engaged.
We do need to talk about when we got engaged. I had started talking to Justin, the man behind the camera right now, and about an engagement. And I talked to also my friend Billy, and was just thinking about a way, because all throughout our relationship, Stephanie's like, it better not be a lame engagement with a ring and a champagne glass at a restaurant. And it better have creativity. It better, all these things. She had all these criteria for what the engagement should entail. And so it had me freaked out. Like, I was super scared. Like, what am I going to do? I'm going to have to jump from an airplane, scuba dive through the Pacific Ocean, and like grab a shark and write, will you marry me, in its gills or something. You know what I mean? Like, she was showing me videos of her friends. Her friend made like a 3.5 hour movie that
3
went viral.
minutes.
Okay,
3 minutes.
It felt like 3.5 hours when I watched it. It was pretty boring. So I just thought about, what am I going to do? I mean, I literally have to become like James Bond to propose to her. And so, of course, I talked to Billy and I talked to Justin, and Billy had this whole treasure hunt thing that was amazing. It just wasn't me. It would be Stephanie if she was proposing, because she's a planner, and Billy's a lot like that. So Justin's a lot like myself, and him and Gabby were going to San Francisco, and Stephanie invited us with them. And so I thought, what a perfect opportunity, because I already talked to Justin about doing engagement photos, and so we just thought this was a great opportunity because it was the first place that I had told her I loved her, and I envisioned proposing to her above the Golden Gate Bridge, like in the little vista point they have there. And so talked to Justin about it, let Gabby know what was going on, and so we went down to San Francisco, and we both didn't sleep well.
As I said earlier, when I don't sleep well, I'm really grouchy.
Yeah, she's grouchy.
But you failed to mention how the whole like month before he was going to propose, he was all like, just want you to know it's going to be like a long time before I propose to you. I just don't want you to like get your hopes up. So we're going to San Francisco, and I was just kind of like, yeah, this is like just going to be a fun day. And I was really, really tired. I took like 3 naps that day or something.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing you got to think about is that, while I was telling her all these things that we can't do this, she had already talked to Justin and said, let's do pictures while we're there. And so I'm like, perfect. Yeah. So I can have Justin take shots of the engagement, and she's the one who, it was her idea. So I'm like, this is just playing into my hand. And so we go down there, and the whole way down, she's just like, I'm hungry, I'm tired. She's grouchy, of course. You started that. You said that. So I would never say that. My love. So anyhow, we're going down there. We get down to San Francisco. We park in the marina. We go to Pier 39. We grab, food. We're walking around.
It was a beautiful day.
It was really hot. It was like 83 degrees. And Justin and Gabby go off on their own. We go off on our own. And we walk around, and we took a boat ride around the bay, but we were just in the sun the whole day, and I don't think we had enough water to drink, so we're both just like tired. We're in Ghirardelli Square. I get her ice cream, and she falls asleep on the bench.
No, I did not fall asleep on the bench.
You looked like a homeless person. You were sleeping on a park bench.
I was not asleep.
Yes, you were. I almost sat on the other bench just because I was like, you're like almost comatose. Like,
I was really tired, but I was not asleep.
Okay, well, there's a little bit of a difference of opinion there. But
okay.
I heard snoring. So anyway, she falls asleep. She wakes up, and we decide we're going to go to a diner and get some more food, because if you don't know for those of you who don't know Stephanie, she eats like she has, her friends have said, like she has a tapeworm. We went to this diner in Ghirardelli Square, and we had something to eat. And again, because I had to just keep her guessing, I was like, I just want you to know, it's still going to be a while, but if you hang on, maybe in the next year or two, I'll be able to, propose to you. And she's like, why are you telling me this right now? Like, she's just so upset. I'm so tired. My hair looks terrible. da 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 da. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I love you, and I do want to spend the rest of my life with you, but you know, I just don't know how I'm going to make this work. And then
at this point, like all day, I'd try to like keep my hair cute and like my makeup done because I knew we were taking pictures. And once he told me that, I was like, I don't even care what I look like. My hair went in a ponytail, put my sunglasses on. I was just like, whatever. I don't even care how I look in these pictures because we're not even gonna get engaged for a long time.
When she's getting upset with me in the diner, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know how this engagement's gonna go. I mean, she could take the ring and throw it into the Pacific Ocean. Like, I mean, this could be, you know, this could be dangerous. And so I'm all worried. We get in the car and we're stuck in traffic to get back over the Golden Gate Bridge.
I'm trying
we
to
get
take
up
a
there,
nap.
and literally, there's like, I think every person from the state of California was at that Vista Point. I mean, there was literally thousands of people. You would have thought it was like the end of the world. And we could, of course, I'm freaking out by that point. I don't want to do the proposal in front of a crowd of people. It's just not. Yes, I do like, you know, performing in front of people, but that just didn't feel right. And so we walk up to this.
Oh no, we're driving up and he's like, Justin, we gotta find a spot by ourselves for pictures. And so we're like still driving up. No, there's still too many people. So then we get out and start walking and he's like, Justin, we have to have a place where there's nobody. You know, I like having my picture made with people around. Which at this point I'm just kind of like, what is he talking about? And we were walking up and I saw you like put your hand in your pocket. So I was like suspecting something and you were acting like really weird.
Well, I had my hand in my pocket the whole time, and I never keep my hands in my pocket. So she's like, what's going on? And so we walk, you know, it was probably a quarter mile. I mean, when you all said and done, up to the top above where the parking lot is in this Vista Point. And there's all these people, and I just keep saying, we got to wait for these people to leave. And so Justin's getting all set, and he's taking pictures, and we're taking pictures and everything. And, you know, we're hoping to get to this one spot in the Vista that was way up even higher that had
like
a better view of the Golden.
left.
Yeah, better than the Golden Gate, better view of the Golden Gate Bridge. And these people finally moved, and he'd already taken several pictures, and he was like off in a distance, probably 50 yards away, and he's like, oh wait, you know, and I right before you'd said wait, you know, to tell us that it was free up there, I had said well, and I had turned facing her, and I was like, oh, he wants to take pictures, let's go. And she's like, what do you mean, well?
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about? Why were you asking that?
And then what did I say?
You were like, I was just going to be like, well, are we done taking pictures yet? But
yeah, I said, well, are we done taking pictures yet?
I knew you were
She's
totally
like, no,
lying.
this is weird. This is so awkward. What's going on? And I'm like, I'm going to blow this, you know? I don't always have the tightest mouth when it comes to secrets. And I'm like, I'm going to blow the engagement. And so we go up to the highest point, and we started taking pictures, and then, you know, I proposed. I get down on one knee, and I was super nervous. I didn't think I'd be nervous, but I was nervous. And
for those of you who know Jed, you know he is very talkative. That's probably the least amount I've ever heard him say. He said he was like, well, I know that I've been telling you all this time that I don't have a ring. I was lying. And I love you, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. And he got down on one knee and he proposed. He didn't even use my name. Like, he was so nervous. Like, he just passed right on by. And I, of course, reacted like a girl and screamed and was all excited. And it was really, really awesome.
Yeah, so that was our proposal. We ended up having dinner with Justin and Gabby on our way home.
And it's amazing what getting proposed to, my energy level was through the roof the rest of the day.
One of the most amazing days of my life.
So much emotion. Could you care for a cunning cottage that we could share? The world will pardon.
I'm getting nudged. We, Stephanie and I, would like to say thank you for those of you who made the trip out here or poured into us by helping make this wedding a success. From the bottom of our hearts, we are so thankful to each and every one of you, those that traveled thousands of miles like her mother, and like my parents that came from Southern California, and my friends that came from Colorado, my dad from Montana. The list goes on, but we wouldn't be where we are today without any of you. And so we just love you. We thank you. And
Let me say something.
Stephanie would like to say something now.
Well, he already said it pretty much, but we love everyone here, and we're so thankful for the people that are in our lives, and we just can't wait to enter this next phase of our lives together and have you all like walk through with us. So I think it's gonna be awesome. All y'all.
Love you, babe. I'm fixing to leave now. I'm fixing to leave. Just say it one time,
I'm
please.
fixing to leave.
Fixing to leave. All right, we're fixing to leave on our honeymoon. Peace.
Bye.
Out.
Actually, that's not true. We'll be like there for another 2 hours.
We could share now the world